more than ever before in my life. I feel the interconnectedness of all life, not just human life. It's one of the gifts of this time of crisis. Is that, do you feel that too? A greater sense of how we're all in the same boat somehow? And I hope that as humanity, we really learn that lesson, that no matter what happens, maybe this crisis will be over soon, maybe it won't, but even if it's over soon, I really hope we carry with us the knowing that we're all interconnected, we're all one process. Yeah, wow, so nice to see where everybody's calling from. Utah, Belgium, wonderful. Yeah, and some people are agreeing with me. There's more appreciating of, yeah, hi Tina. We're all in the same boat. We are in a boat together, and it is the same boat. Let's start with awareness as we come into our meeting today. Pausing to sense, taking your time just to bring awareness to how you are right now. Feeling your body supported, feeling your breathing. It's a nice thing to do. Let's practice doing it now, and I'm also going to recommend that you do it all day long. Pausing is how it starts. Taking a moment. Here we are together, taking that moment together. Usually, as soon as I pause, I find a deep breath comes. Notice if that happens for you. And then I start becoming aware of my body. So I feel my feet, I feel my seat, contact of my body on what I'm sitting on. I like to wiggle my toes a little so I feel my feet even more. That gives us grounding. Let's all do that together right now, just to feel your feet, feel your seat. Feel your breath. Now, how easy or hard is that for you at this moment? So the next thing to do is notice, am I easily able to find my sense of grounding in my breath? Or am I feeling distracted or agitated, or kind of like my awareness is up here somewhere, so that it's hard, a little bit challenging right now to feel my body grounded and supported? So noticing if it's hard, or how hard is it? How hard is it to be aware in your body right now? Like not good or bad, yeah, but just noticing how hard it is. Shall we do that? Yeah, thank you so much for people writing in the chat. I see you. It's so nice to see you. How hard is it to be body grounded and supported? If it's hard, if it's harder than you'd like it to be, then just noticing that and saying hello to what's in the way. Right? So Dinah wrote in the chat, I forget to breathe when my heart's in my throat. I have fear for my sister. Let's take that as an example. Maybe your body has a place where you're feeling so much fear that it's hard to breathe, hard to feel your support, your grounding. Okay? Or there's some kind of sense of, I need to get away, I need to get out of here, I can't be in my body, it's too overwhelming. Right? Whatever it is, let's say hello to that. And you can use that language. This is nice language, I think. I'm sensing something in me. And then describe it. I'm sensing something in me feeling fear for my sister. I'm sensing something in me that just wants to get away. Notice what happens when you say it that way. And then say it again, right? Same language. If you needed to say, I'm sensing something in me feels, then you probably will find it valuable to say it again. I'm sensing something in me feels whatever it is, overwhelmed, scared, tired. Is anybody else tired? I've been more tired. So if you need to say it, then it's very valuable to say it again. Yes, yes. Yeah. Susan writes, something in me wants to be doing. It feels unsafe to be still. Okay. But say hello to the feeling of unsafe to be still. I'm sensing something feeling safe, unsafe to be still. Yeah, a couple of people are also sharing this feeling of tired or exhausted. I had a sense as I approached this webinar today that tired, exhausted might be one of our issues. But let's finish this little exercise and then I'll talk about that. So noticing the difference it makes to acknowledge what's here using the language, I'm sensing something in me feels. And then to acknowledge it again, and then to acknowledge it again. And then notice if it's easier for you to feel your grounding, feel your breath, now that you've acknowledged what might have been in the way of feeling it. Yeah? Very good. Very good. So what are we doing when we do that? So when you say, I am sensing, you're reminding yourself that you're bigger than your emotional states. You're bigger than fear or exhaustion or tiredness or wanting to escape or wanting to do. That's there. We're not shaming it. We're not pushing it away. We're not telling it to go away. You can, all the ways you feel can be how they are. But when you say, I am sensing, you're reminding yourself that you, as a being, are more than any of the particular ways that you feel. And I love that because the words I am sensing, they do that work. Because so you're not telling yourself anything. The words I am sensing do it for you. Yeah. Ronnie writes, I'm sensing something disturbing in my throat. Perfect. Yeah, that's how it works. I'm sensing. So I say, I am sensing, but then I say, something in me feels fear or something in me is tight. And by using that phrase, something in me, we unmerge, we disidentify. We say, I'm bigger and this is here, but it's not the same as me. It's something in me. So notice the difference between I'm tired and something in me is tired. Michael writes, I'm sensing something in me that is a deep well of sadness. Yeah. We don't mean to, by saying this, by calling it something in you, we are not meaning to disrespect it or make it small or dismiss it. We're actually wanting to give whatever your experience is more room to be as it is. Well, let me talk a little about being tired and exhausted, because I've always felt it's a little bit extra difficult to say part of me is exhausted or part of me is tired. Those experiences of tired and exhausted really feel very kind of whole body. They feel very total to me. And Dinah was writing, I feel tired and old and ancient. Yeah. So let me talk a little bit about the feeling, the body feeling of tired and exhausted, or whatever the word is for you. Because I think when there's a feeling of tired and exhausted, we tend to, I know I do, try to get away from it, drink something with caffeine or do something to wake myself up. And so that there's an inner conflict, and I'm not actually accepting and being present with how I feel. And I can tell there's a part of me that's worried that if I accept and I'm present with how I feel, I'll go to sleep or I'll just sink. Like if I really acknowledge how exhausted I am, maybe I'll be a puddle on the floor. So here's the thing. The feeling of tired, the feeling of exhausted is simply how it is. Feeling it is not going to make it worse. Being aware specifically of how it feels in your body is not going to knock you over or make you a puddle. It may make you realize that you need to rest. It may make you realize that you need a break. It may make you realize there's something you need that you can't even have right now. We'll get to that in a minute. But it takes us forward when we can simply acknowledge the feeling of how things are. So, taking tired or exhausted as an example, you bring awareness to your body and just take some time to notice what is here. What am I feeling? What am I carrying right now? What am I bearing right now? And that this works, by the way, for physical pain as well. And there's all the parts of us that are worried that if we feel it, something bad will happen. I'll become a basket case. And we can say hello to those. Something in me is afraid that if I feel this, I won't be able to X, Y, Z. I say hello to that. And let's see if it's okay to go ahead and feel it as well. So I'm feeling both the part of me that's worried about me feeling it, and I'm feeling it because it's here. And then let the word float away, right? You had the word tired, you had the word exhausted, you had the word pain, whatever it is. Let the word float away and just feel how it feels in your body with no labels. No labels. This is the feel of it. And often it helps to have a metaphor. So this is what it feels like. And it's okay to let words come back. Like if the word I'm seeing in the chat, words like anxiety and sad. Yeah. It's okay to let some words come back, maybe exhausted, maybe worn to the bone, maybe feeling at the edge, maybe feeling frayed thin. Yeah, metaphors can come. And when you find the way of saying it that fits, even if it seems awful. Ula wrote, heavy like an elephant. Yes, the metaphor is as big as the feeling is. Then there's a kind of relief that comes. See if you notice that when you say it just how it is. There's a little, yeah, that is how it is. Yeah. Yeah. And it could include hope, if that's what's here. We're not just looking for negative experiences. Everything is welcome. Oh, here's a lovely metaphor from Jan, wrung out like a dishcloth. That's how it is for Jan. Yeah. So being present with your experience of being yourself right now, with an openness so to the fresh way it is at this moment, so you can even find a metaphor. It's okay to use a single word like sad, but then see if there's a metaphor, sad-like, that really says what it is like right now. Because what is so interesting about human experience is that each person is different. At the very start of this webinar, I was talking about all of us being in the same boat, but we're each in a different spot on that boat. Each of us experiences the world from a unique place that's also guided by our past experience, everything we've lived up till now, and our own combination of the other people in our life and our interconnections and what matters to us and what we care about. Like nobody else would have the same view of it as you. And you're the one who can pause and really sense into that, sense how it is when you are present with how you are right now. Something becomes possible. That's what I really wanted to give you today. That feeling how tired you are, for example, doesn't just make you more tired. It also allows something to be possible that wasn't possible before. And I wish I could be more specific because I don't know what that will be for you. But we get stuck when we don't pause and sense how we are presently. That's the road to stuckness. Yes. There's some more metaphors people are giving us. Hanging on by my fingernails. Oh, something feels like it cannot be broken. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like a faucet overflowing a bathtub and being unable to turn it off. Oh, they're the metaphors. Does it help when you get the metaphor that fits it just right? I think it does. Something in me feeling sadness like a lonely child sobbing in the dark alone. Yeah. Anita's describing the sense of release that comes. Nice. Great. Yeah. 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 So a question from Elizabeth. Thinking, feeling, does it really matter if this feels like I'm thinking about it or feeling about it? Yeah, let me talk about that a bit, because I think when we're faced with a difficult situation, each of us is faced with a different kind of difficult situation, even though they probably all have something to do with the world health crisis. For each of us, there's something unique about it. So, but you're faced with a difficult situation, and surely you have thoughts about it. And thoughts, feelings, images, how do we distinguish between them? You know, when I say, how does it feel? Is it okay to have a thought about it? You know, what I'd really like to suggest is that we not worry about those categories of thought versus feeling versus image and so on. That's why I like the word experience, my present experience. What is here for me now is another way to put it. What is here for me now? Because we don't want to exclude anything. We don't want to say, oh, that's a thought, go away. No. It all belongs in what we're experiencing and acknowledging. The thing about thoughts is we sometimes forget to acknowledge them because they seem like part of the, you know, the wallpaper. And that includes beliefs, including anxious beliefs. I think somebody wrote in the chat, afraid this will never be over. What if you get the thought, this will never be over? Well, that's not just a thought, it's also a something in you afraid it will never be over, and it needs company. It needs you to say to it, hello, I know you're there. I am sensing something in me afraid it'll never be over. I say hello to that. I am bigger than the part of me that is afraid it will never be over. That doesn't mean that I know that it will be over. It just means that I'm a bigger space than the thought, I'm afraid it will never be over. Yay. I'm just checking the chat again. Wonderful. Okay. Wow. So somebody wrote in the chat, the pressure in my abdomen is unbearable. Yeah. And so say to it, you might want to put a gentle hand there, and then you might want to say to it, I sense how unbearable you feel. I sense what you're showing me about how unbearable this is. Sometimes what we feel in our body is quite uncomfortable. And it still is okay to acknowledge it as it is, because there's something about how strong those feelings are, how intense they are, that's part of their message. It's part of what they need us to hear. We have about 5 more minutes together today, and I wanted, before we stop today, I wanted to tell you about something that I'm doing, you know, inspired by these webinars and how good they feel to me to give, and yet also inspired by the fact that I miss being able to actually talk to you, to hear from you, to let you tell your story in your voice, and that we could have a conversation about that with each other. So I've created a 3-week conversation that people can join. It's going to start on April 20th. Just wanted to tell you while we're still together today that that's not the same as these free webinars, because it'll be a Zoom meeting, which means that you'll be able to be seen and see each other. Although if you call, and you can call in by phone. John writes, there's an eerie sense of quietness and stillness in our city, and something in me is sensing an opportunity for a big letting go. You know, I was feeling an opportunity today too. Like, I felt so stuck. Personally, this is me. I don't expect anybody else to necessarily share this. But I've been up till this year, like at the end of 2019, I was feeling so stuck about the climate change thing. And stuck meaning I just couldn't imagine how that was ever going to shift. in a way that the world needs it to. Now I feel like, okay, maybe we have started to learn that stopping all the things we've been doing is possible. Maybe we'll learn as a species that we can behave differently. We can stop. A question, which of my books should you read first? I suggest The Power of Focusing, my first book. Very good. Wow, okay. We still have a couple of minutes. And I just want to say again what I was taking you through today and what I recommended for you, which is that you turn toward the felt experience, the how you are. Do it all day long. Have your experience, even the painful experience. You are big enough. You can do it. No experience is going to be too big for you if it's in your body. Very exhausted, very sad, very scared. As long as you are here with that, it's not going to be too much for you. And in fact, when you can be present to how you actually feel, a next step becomes possible. When I say it that way, I want to be clear. I don't know what that next step is. I just know that life always wants to live forward. There is a step beyond anxiety. There's a step beyond grief. There's a step beyond exhaustion. Your body knows what it is. You and I don't need to know. By being present to how we feel, we enable whatever is next to happen. So that's my message for today. Thank you so much. Hope to see you. Bye for now.